Hi friends, this is our second session for our Java. In today's session we are going to see how to declare the variables. Okay. Then we are going to see how to initialize the values. Okay. How to display the values. And also we can see how to read the data from keyboard. So in this session we are going to cover all these 4 different operations. Let's begin now. I'm opening our Java interface. This is your CUI, okay, character user interface. So still we didn't started our NetBeans, okay. So what I will do now, I will go to the Java path or a Java folder which I have created in the last session. So I created that folder on my desktop. So I will go to CD desktop, change directory to desktop. What are there on desktop I want to see. So I have one folder with a name called class Java. You can see it is showing what? Directory. So now I will do what? CD space class Java. So I entered into now class Java folder. So what are there in that folder? So you can see this is the last program which we created. Today's program, what I want to do, I don't want to open a notepad separately and don't want to write it separately in the notepad, save it separately. I don't want to do all those things. I want to do directly from this interface. That time I can write the command like this: notepad second program. As this is my second program, I write the name also second dot Java. Enter. So a pop-up will come saying you that cannot find second dot Java file. Do you want to create it? Yes, I want to create it. So I say yes. Now we will give a comment here: program to declare the variables and initialize the values. Okay. So then anyway you are going to display the output also, right? So now let's see how I can achieve this. So the common thing which we did before in the last program, we have to import a library java.io.start. Then I need to write a class. As I told you in the last class also, the file name and the class name should be same. If it is not same, is there any problem? Means there is no problem. You can run the program in that way also. That I will show you in your coming sessions. But now as it is your startup of the program, you make a standard recommendation as class name and file name should be always same. So now here you can say we have the class name as second as a class name as second, as my file name is also what? Second. Okay. So now what I will do, class second as a file name and a class name is same. Now I need what? Public static void main string arguments. So we are going to start the main class here. Okay, so this is our main class, class second. Now what I told, how to declare the variables. So we have to declare a variable integer. I will give the variable name. Remember what I told about variable. Let's write a few lines about variable here. Okay, I'm giving that one inside a comment itself. So first of all we write here variable. Okay, so what is a variable? Name of the, which I declared in the beginning. I have explained more about this one in my first video. If you are confused and if you know how to use it, you can just go to the first video and you can see there what is variable, what is data type, everything clearly explained. Okay, so this is the name of the memory location. That's it. And data type is what? Type of data which we are going to use. So we have the data types like what? Integer, character, float, double, many are there. According to our size parameters, we are going to use the different data types. Okay, so I'm currently using here integer type of memory. So I say integer space. See, the name can be anything other than the keyword. Okay, what do you mean by keyword? Example I will tell you. You will never find a person whose name starts with a mobile. whose name can be iPhone, whose name can be like a cat, whose name can be like an elephant. You never have that names. Why? Because those names are given to some other parts of the world which are available. Okay, you can see those are the names of certain things, living or non-living things. So it's a common sense that we never use the names of those things to the names for any other unique things. We can't give that name. Same way in a programming also, whenever you are giving a name to the variable, means a name of that memory should not be the keyword which is known to Java. As we are discussing, we never have the names of any other in our real world to someone. Same way in programming there are different keywords. In Java we have around 62 plus keywords. Those keywords you never used as a name here. Now I will show you one example. I say integer a, it will accept. Apple also accept. It will also accept snake. It will also accept dog. It will also accept cat. It will also accept rose. Anything it can accept, but it never accept here integer, because integer is a data type and you are making another int as a variable name, because int also it knows to the Java. I can't use here like import, it's a keyword. I can't write here like main because it is already there. Okay, so generally, so there are certain things which you have to identify, like these are the keywords of the program which I can't use as the variable names. Okay, main also I am not going to use here, because main is something like which will make you to identify it is a entry of your program, and that should be unique identity in your whole program. Okay, I don't want to use it also. So what I will do, I will use your int del, and I can give another variable name like apple. Okay, and whenever you have completed declarations, you have to give a semicolon. As we learned before also, whenever you are going to close the statement, you have to give a semicolon, so it will close the statement. Now I have two memory locations. Okay, so in other words, you can say here like I have declared here two memory locations, like one is this and other one is this. Okay, as we all know that integer will have how much size? Integer will have 2 bytes of size. Generally nowadays in some programming languages, depending on the architectures, we have 4 bytes also. Now as I have declared in my program, as what I declared as, okay, I declared as integer del and apple, means I'm giving the name to these two as one is del and other one is apple. Okay, this is fine. Now next thing, consider we will be considering this one as 2 bytes. So this is 2 bytes, byte 1 and byte 2. Consider the 2 bytes are created. Okay, so now it is what type of size? It means it is what type of memory? The memory type for this one is what? Integer. So this is what type? It is a integer type. So you can enter only numbers. Fine. So now what I can do, if suppose I'm entering some number here like 56, and also I can enter some number here like 89. And one thing very sure, you should be sure that these numbers you can see like this, but a computer will always save this number in terms of bits and bytes. Okay, that's the reason we said here bytes. Okay, so 1 byte equal to 8 bits. Understand? And even this 56 will never be saved directly as 56 in the programming. Okay, if it is 56, if you consider this is 56, it will be converted into binary first. So this is 2 to the 4, 2 8s are 16. You can say this is 0, then it is 214, again 0, then again 2 7, this is 0, then again 2 3, this is 1, then again 2 1, this is 1. So what is the binary value of 56 here? 56 will be termed as, or can be written as 1 1 1 0 0 0. So this is how the value will be available or for 56. Now considering the first del has a 8 bits, okay, so the size of this one is, anyway you know that it is 2 bytes in the sense 16 bits, okay. Now I'm taking only 8 bits, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and also we need one more which is 8. Clear? Now as this is a binary data, we will be terming or we will be numbering it as 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, okay, 2 to the power of 3, like this, 2 to the power of 4, 5, 6, and this one will be what? 2 to the power of 7. And the value which you received after converting this is 111,000. So what I will do here, I have to give that numbering inside this memory locations 111, 0, 0 and 0, okay. So this is 2 to the power of 4, this is 2 to the power of 5, and see, now this is the value which is saved inside del. If someone said that I want to save one more value, like for example he said del equal to 90, that time what should happen? The value which is available in this memory should be replaced, should be removed, and this will be updated here, okay. So you have to be very clear, this is called overriding. So whenever you are saving some data into the same memory, after some time the data will be overridden. So let's continue this, let's finish this 56. How it will be 56 now? This is a binary value. 2 to the power of 5 will be how much? 32, okay. So how it will be 32? 2 to the power of 5 in the sense you have to write 2 for 5 times. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, okay. So 2 times 2 it's 4, 4 times 2 8, 8 times 2 16, 16 times 2 it is 32, 32 plus, okay, then again you are going to have the value 16 plus 8. When you calculate this, the whole value, you are going to see what? 56 as your output. So this is how your program will be going to save the memory value inside the program memory, okay. So you have to remember this. Now let's begin to write our program. So now what I will do, I will say del equal 90, okay. If not, I will write 56 itself, okay. Here this is called as declaration, understand, and this is called as what? Initialization, okay. So even I want to initialize the value for Apple also, then this is what we call it as again a initialization, okay. Now as I told you, let's enter the data. When you enter this, you just want to see the output now. System dot out dot what do you write? Print or println. Then I write here first value slash n for what? New line, okay. Now no need because I use println there, okay. First value equal plus, this will be what? Del. Plus is a concatenation operator which will concatenate with your comment line. So this is a line which is displayed in output, it is concatenating with your variable location, okay. So then next one what I will do, now this one I want for the new line, so I say slash n, I write here second value equal, then I say what is the next variable name? Apple. So what I'm doing here, I'm telling to the computer this you have to display, but check what is there inside this variable memory. It is the name of the memory. So what the compiler will do, after seeing this, it will go to this memory location, it will see what is there, 56, it will bring it and it will keep it here, okay. Same way it will go to Apple, it will take this value, come it here, okay. Same way now let's see how the data is overridden. Now I will write here del equal to 90 as I shown in the paint here, that whenever you are going to load the second value, this is second value, this will override here, okay. This 56 will be removed and replaced with what? 90, okay. The same thing will happen here. Let's see how it will run in the program also. I'll copy this again. I'm not overriding second value, but I'm overriding the first value, okay. So my program is finished. Let's see how the output will come on this program, okay. So you can pause the video in between to write the program and you can see this. So I'm going to file now, I say save it, okay. Now I'm going to our command prompt. Now what I will write here, first of all, Java C to check whether there are any issues in the programming code. Second dot Java, enter. Now it is going to compile my code and it will see, is there any error in the syntaxes? No, there is no error. Now program is right. Now I say Java space second. Okay, run. Now what is going to happen? It will go there and it will bring the first value as 56, second value as 67. Now try to understand. That is first value 56. Now when I pass the value for the second time, what happened? The second time this value will override the first value. Now you can see the value has overridden, right? The second value is still same. I didn't override it. So this is how the memory will perform. Okay. So this is one of the topics which we have to discuss on your declaration of variables and initialization of values. Okay, we do one thing. So we'll stop in this session here because the video is going long. I will give you the next program in the next video session, okay, where we can discuss more on the program, how to read from keyboard. Okay, thank you, and see you in a next video.